Welcome to Really Run Tutorials. Today I'll be showing you how to use functions in the turtle module in Python. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up Python. Now I'm assuming you already have it installed. So you'll go to your search bar, type in idle, and you'll hit enter. And then it'll pull up this page here. Now this is the idle page, so if wherever you type in here will happen instantaneously. So if you do print, then hello world, and it'll return hello world immediately. Now we're not actually going to program in this very much. What we're going to do is go to file and create a new file. It'll pull up this instead. And this is what we're going to be programming in, so you can save it and run it and modify it later. So to do this, you'll type in print and do hello world. Now you'll notice that once I hit enter, nothing happens. That's because it's right now untitled, it's unsaved. So you're going to do file, save as. And we'll just save it to our desktop for now. We'll call this tutorial. And there it is. So now if you click on run and run module, it'll then make this break line and then it'll do hello world. Then you can run this as many times as you want. And then if you want, you can go by and edit it. And then you can do file, save, run module, and it'll change. Now whenever I change it, I like to use keyboard shortcuts. So you can either keep going back and forth doing run and run module like this, or you can just click on F5 on your keyboard and it'll run that way as well. So that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do Control S to save, and then F5 to run. If you don't want to do it, you can keep going by and doing file, save, and run module. Alright. So we're going to start creating some functions. And to create a function, you do def for definition, then you label it. We're going to call this intro, and then we're going to do parentheses with a colon on the outside. And when we hit enter, it'll indent it. And anything inside this indentation will be kept under this function. Now a function is used so that you can perform multiple tasks at once without having to type them all in manually. So you can do, let's do print. Hello. Now let's run that real quick. Well, first we'll get rid of this print statement. And if you click run module, it'll ask you to save, click OK. Nothing will happen. That's because we haven't called upon the function yet. So what we gotta do is you gotta type it in outside of the indents, intro. Just like that. Intro with the parentheses. And then it'll call upon this function. Now what you use these for is you can create multiple lines. So you can print hello, like that, and then if you run that, it'll type in both lines with just this one command. Now I'm going to create a simple program. I'll show you how to do that using the turtle module that I find kind of interesting to try out. So to do that, we're going to delete all this. Right, so just delete the part where it's called upon. And then we'll start working on our turtle module. Alright, so to use the turtle module, you have to import it. So you do import in turtle. And if you run that, nothing will happen because we haven't called upon anything yet. So I'll be showing you, you can do So you have to first decide what we're going to name it. We're going to call this turtle. Then it's equal to turtle.Turtle, and then parentheses. Now you can change this to whatever you want to call it, but we're just going to call it turtle for now for simplicity. Now if you run that, it'll pull up the turtle graphics, and there's where your turtle is. So we can X out of that. We can then call it to do something, so we can do turtle.Forward. And then you can have it go forward however much you want. We'll just do 100, and we'll run that. And then you'll see the turtle move forward. And you can make the turtle turn, so you'll do turtle.right, and it'll make it a 90 degree, and it'll make a square. We'll run it. And now it's turned, so now you gotta go forward again. So we'll do turtle.Forward, another 100. And then you'll see we're beginning to make a square. Now this takes a long time, especially if you want to make one in a different spot, right? It'll take forever. So we're going to make this into a function. So we're going to do, well, let's go up here first. We'll do def. We'll call this square. We'll close parentheses, and then colon. Now we're here, I'll do tab, tab, tab. So that indents it all evenly. So now I can control S and F5. Nothing happens. You gotta call upon it. So you do square. If you run that, oh, got an error. Alright, so to fix this, I just now went through and checked it. It has had a hard time when this is labeled square. When it's labeled turtle, because it gets confused. So we're going to call it SQ for square. And then we're going to do the same thing for this one, SQ. And if you control S and F5, it'll run and it'll do the 2 lines. Alright. So now we can just copy this a few times. Like that. Oh, the indentation got messed up. Like that. Now let's run that and see what we get. There we go. Perfect square. So now whenever I want to call upon, all I have to do is have a square. Now, we can also do this with different shapes, like a triangle. So we just copy all this. So we'll have to retype it. And we'll change it to triangle. And we'll change these to tri. We don't actually need as many, so we'll do this here. Tri.forward. Then we'll do tri.right, but now we're not going to go right 90 degrees. We're going to write 120 degrees. Tri.forward 100. Change this to 120. Another 100. And that is good. And we can just delete the rest of these. And now we, instead of square, we can call upon triangle. We run that, it'll make a triangle instead of square. And now this is helpful so that whenever you're making, say, a program, it doesn't have to be the turtle module, it could be anything. You don't have to retype in all this every time you want to use it. I can call them both, I guess, and we can do square. Let's run both, and it'll do one at a time. And it kind of stacks. A few other things you can do is you can use Pinup. So you can do, let's do square.Penup see here, hold on. And then you can do sq.forward, do 200, and then you can do sq.pendown. Now let's run that. Oh, whoops. Isn't defined. We can actually do this. We do our Control X. Put it in here with the square. Tab this into place. Run that. So now when we do, oh, forgot about the pin down. Just like that. Alright. So now when it runs, it'll move it to the side a little bit. And that's just something neat to try. If you want to play around with using functions, my favorite way to learn how to do it. And whenever you are making these, you can change these numbers to anything you want to make very cool different shapes. You can make like stars. You can loop it 100 times if you want to use a for loop. And that's all I'm going to show you. If you enjoyed the video, if you learned something, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.